I'm Kathy Broadwell, and I'm one of the authors of Slow Swimmers and Fried Eggs, and I'm very honored to be here speaking with you today.
And I'm Eric Olson, Kathy's husband, also one of the contributors to Slow Swimmers and Fried Eggs, and I'm delighted to be talking to you.
Eric and I met a little later in life than some people. We met in our early 30s, so we didn't get married until our late 30s. So we didn't actually start to have a family, to attempt to have a family, until I was about 39 years old. And we'd known at that point that your fertility starts to decline after the age of 35. So we did know that if we started to have problems after about 6 months, that we should possibly start to seek professional help. So we started to try and have a family, and after 6 months went by, we had a candid conversation, and they have the ads on the radio for the local fertility clinic, and around that time, we decided to start to seek professional help and just have the test done, and that was really the beginning of our journey, and it was a very scary experience, partly because we didn't know anyone at that time who had been through anything even remotely like that. All of my friends had had their children pretty easily, so it was a difficult journey to embark on.
Eric, what was the experience like when you and Kathy had that conversation? What was going on in your mind?
Well, I think there were probably three things that sort of leapt to the forefront. The first is this enormous sense of 20/20 hindsight. At our age, it was very easy to wonder with some guilt or uncertainty, did we wait too long? And is this my fault? Is this our fault? But as Kathy mentioned, we didn't even meet until well into our 30s. And I think it's easy to say those things with 20/20 hindsight, but we also knew how important it was for us to have some time together, just the two of us after getting married. So I try not to fall into that sort of looking back with the advantage of hindsight. The second thing that occurred to me is the question of, is this my fault? In this experience, there's no question that I think anyone on either side going through this, if they're lucky, they talk to their partner, but in their heart of hearts, they also have to ask, am I to blame? Is it my fault? And we can't control biology or aging, but that doesn't change the fact that those thoughts go through your mind, and those are very difficult. Third and finally, for me, there's an enormous set of societal pressures, familial, cultural, mores, and so forth. In some very primordial sense, there is nothing more elemental to, quote, being a man than passing on your family line, to have a son to take your name and those things. And the realization came crashing down very quickly that I may not be able to do that, ever. And there is a huge host of emotions and challenges that come with that realization.